Hey coin collectors, and welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Today we're going to take a look at the 1970 United States quarter. We have all three of the mints here. The Philadelphia mint with no mint mark, the Denver mint with the D back there, and the San Francisco mint with the S. And that San Francisco mint doesn't even look real, does it? It's just so shiny. But that's because it's a proof coin, has a special finish on it. It's only sold in proof sets. So you'll never see a circulating or business strike quarter looking like this, just because it's not polished the same as a proof quarter. And in fact, some of the proof quarters look even better than this. They have like a different polish on the front, and they call those cameos or deep cameos. This is not the deep cameo, but it's pretty nice looking. You can see this one is so worn down that it's worn right down to the rim on the sides. You can see it's got a flattened zero for the zero. Liberty at the top, in God we trust here. A lot of times when you look at these coins, the IN on the in God is going to be worn down. This one looks like it has a doubling here, but this isn't a real doubling. The doubling occurs from a coin getting beat up, not from a coin coming doubled out of the mint. These coins are not silver. The last silver quarters from the United States, circulating quarters, came out in 1964. This is a 75% copper, 25% nickel coating on the front and back over a 100% copper center. And you can see when it gets worn down like this, you can see the 100% copper. That's just full copper on the inside. There was no mint mark for Philadelphia on the Washington quarters until 1980. So the 1971 still didn't have the P there. They just had a blank. The 1980 ones look like this, and you can see that not a great P on there, but the Philadelphia Mint finally started putting their mint marks on in 1980 on the quarters. If we look at the values of these, one of the things you're going to always have to look at is to see if there are feathers on the chest, the details on the back. Obviously, this one's only going to be worth 25 cents, even though it is over 55 years old. But if you get a good one at Mint State 65, you get up to about $20 from Philly. And if you get a really good one from Philly, the best ever, they go for about $2,750. So there are some expensive ones out there. If you do get one that's in really, really good shape with the feathers on the back, on the chest of the bird on the back, and all the good detail, you would have to get it graded by one of the grading agencies to ensure maximum value for these. At the San Francisco Mint, they made 2.6 million proof sets versus 136 million that they made at the Philadelphia Mint. And of the 2.6 million, there's no proof 70s, the highest proof level, but there are some proof 69s that go for about $62. There is one that sold at a heritage auction in 2007, though, for $2,760, kind of a special coin. If we change the light on this, you'll notice that there is a film on this coin that sometimes comes from the mint sets, and kind of around the outside here, see this film all around the outside? Some of the mint sets off gas a little bit, and so when we change the lighting on these, you can see that it's almost like a halo around the outside of it. If it was different colors other than this kind of grayish blue, it could be worth additional money. But right now, this coin, as a proof quarter from 1970, is probably worth $5 to $7 outside of the proof set. Now, if we look at the back of it, we can see that there are some feathers on the chest, and we can see great detail in the eyes, the beak, and the little cowlet kind of thing on the back of this eagle. And then if we look down here, we can see incredible detail on the claws and the ribbon. If we look at the arrows, we can see the feathered end. But if we look at the feathered end, we can't see that line down the middle. So this would certainly not be a proof 69 or proof 70. They also made 417 million at the Denver Mint, 3 times as many at Denver as they did at Philadelphia. And if we magnify it up, we'll see that D there. These are not going to be great Ds. Denver Mint's highest graded coin is a Mint State 67 plus that PCGS, the grading agency, has only graded one of them, and they value it at about $10,000. But if you get down to a Mint State 65 from Denver, it's only worth about $16. So There's not a whole lot of graded coins from Denver because the value at a mint state 65 is about 1/3 the value it would take you to get it graded by the agency in the first place. Now, the value of a quarter has changed somewhat since 1970. You could get a 1970 Ford Maverick for $2,000 for the base version, which would be about 8,000 quarters. And here's a modified 1970 Ford Maverick from the Classic Auto Mall website. You would have needed about 8,000 quarters to buy this one. It would cost you about 75,000 quarters for the least expensive new car sold in the United States in 2025. And here's the least expensive 2025 car, and that is a Nissan Versa. And you can see it's $18,635, 75,000 US quarters to buy one of these. Now, there are some specialty quarters from 1970. Mike Byers, who's a Las Vegas coin dealer, has two coins that are specialty coins and probably the result of somebody in the mint intentionally making a coin error. One of them is a 1970 quarter, which Mike Byers listed on eBay for $35,000, and it is a proof quarter that was struck over a 1941 Canadian quarter. On its website, Mike Byers labels these as intentional errors, and you can see the first one here, and this is the Barber quarter. It is legal. This is an NGC grading on this one. 1970 S 25 cents struck on a Barber quarter, called the Min Error Proof 65. Hard to really see it clearly, and there's Mike Barber talking about this on the news channel. And then if you get here, you can see kind of in the background that Barber quarter underneath with the arrows over there on the right. In the back, not as easy to see from this picture, and then you get down here and you see that there's also the 1970 Canada 1941 mint error coin. Again, an NGC, or National Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, which is another grading agency, has said this is a mint error proof 65, and it is the right weight for US coin, 5.63 grams, but it's on top of a 1941 Canada quarter. All right, let's get back to our coins. They're both legal to sell, even though it might not have been legal to do what the mint employee did to stick a Barber quarter or a 1941 Canadian quarter into the machinery at the San Francisco Mint. All right, well, that's all we have today from the DC Coin World International Coin Channel. We'd love to have you subscribe to our channel and leave any comments you have in the comment section.